Okay, good morning, class. So today we will be determining the equation of a graph. At this point, we got up and we sketched graphs. We spoke about domain and range. We spoke about one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, relationships and functions there. Then we spoke about functional notation. Okay, that's part of sketching graphs. Then we did hyperbolas, exponential graphs, straight lines, and parabolas. Sorry, we did sketching of graphs, yes, and many things between. Since we have deleted pages in which we worked from, we were busy with exercise 8.3, which is the different sketching of graphs. That's where we ended. Okay, and then we went into the exam. Okay, so at this point, we are going to determine the equation of a graph. Okay, let's just get the textbook up. This is chapter 8, yeah. Okay, determining the equation of a graph. To determine the equation of a graph, we must be given one piece of information for each unknown. Okay? This is the example on page 172. I'm looking at the example on page 172. Determine the value of a and q in the parabola y is equal to ax squared plus q if the following information is given. Okay, so write this down, people. You draw that the graph quickly. Guys got it? Not yet, okay. Alright, so we're looking at example 1 on page 171. It says determine the value of a and q in the parabola y is equal to ax squared plus q. So as you can see, there's two unknowns there. We need to solve for a and q. At times we'll go into simultaneous equations, not all the time. Okay? Or some simple form of simultaneous equations. I'd rather put it that way. Alright, so if you're looking at this information given, we are given two coordinates, not so. We're given 0 and 16, we're given negative 4 and 0. So what I make a habit of, I always substitute the y-intercept first. Okay, at times it will eliminate one of the solutions. So what I do is I say I'm going to substitute the 0 and 16 into the equation y equals ax squared plus b. Okay. So in other words, people, the same x and a y. Not so. In the coordinate, you always got an x and a y. So here's your y. So 16 is equal to a times, what's your x value? 0 squared plus q. So what's going to happen now? What's the value for q? Q is going to be equal to 16. Why? Because the 0 squared 0 times a is 0. Can you see that? So q is equal to 16. So my equation is y is equal to ax squared plus 16. So how do you think I'm going to solve for a? We'll substitute that point now. Can you see that? So now we say we're going to substitute negative 4 and 0 into this equation, which is y is equal to ax squared plus 16. So you've got the value of q now already. So I don't have to write q again. Can you see that? So solve for a. So again, people, this is an x and a y. So what do we have? 0 equals a times negative 4 squared plus 16. So what do I do now? What do I do now, people? Now we just simply solve for a. So this is going to be negative 4 squared, which is positive 16, not so? 16a is equal to negative 16. Divide by 16 both sides. So a is equal to negative 1. And there's my q, there's my a. It then asks you for the equation, therefore y is equal to negative 1x squared plus 16. Can you see? This is negative here. So we know the graph is frowning parabola at a y-intercept of 16. Is that not the case then? Yes. Okay. Any confusion there? Anybody that's confused? Okay. That's example 1 on page 171. Now we look at example 2 on page 171. Example 2 on page 171. The question says determine the value of a, k and q in the equation of the graph sketched is y equals a times k to the x plus q. Determine the value of a and k. A, k and q if the equation of the graph sketched is y is equal to a times k to the x plus q. Okay? The horizontal asymptote is the line y is equal to. Okay, so I want you guys to draw that quickly. This is the second example now. Okay, so where can we start? Where do we start when you have given asymptotes, or the equation of asymptotes? That's the first thing we can fill in. Not so? So, that horizontal asymptote of y equals 4 is which variable in that equation? Your q value. Not so? Because in an exponential graph, your horizontal asymptote is your constant. Not so? So we start off by saying, okay, there's another solution. We start off by saying that q is equal to 4. Not so? So what do we do now? We get substitute 4 in here. So what must my equation now read? Y is equal to a times k to the x plus 4. Assalamu alaikum. You right? Okay, so what needs to be solved still, people? A and k. So I have two unknowns. Do I have two other points on the graph? Yes. I got the y-intercept and I got the x-intercept. Which one did I say I'm going to do first? Y-intercept. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to substitute 0 and 3 into what? To this equation, which is y is equal to a times k to the x plus 4. Remembering this is an x and a y. So do the substitution and simplify a bit.
Shukran.
Okay, so what do we have? 3 equals a times k to the 0 plus 4. Anything to the power 0 is 1. That becomes 1. Don't I get 4 over the equal sign? So it becomes 3 minus 4, which is negative 1, is equal to a. You all agree with that? So I got A, I got Q. So what do I still need to solve? Okay. So my equation now reads y is equal to negative 1, which is 8, k to the x plus 4. You can put the negative 1 times k to, or just negative, the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to substitute 2 and 0 into y is equal to negative k to the x plus 4. That's all. Where this is a x and a y value. Okay. So what do we have? Y is 0. So 0 is equal to negative k squared plus 4. Okay. So what do I do now? In pursuit of calculating k. Ready? K is one side, numbers outside, so k squared is equal to 4. Square root, if I introduce square root, what must I not forget? Plus minus. However, we know that k must be positive. In that form, people, k must always be greater than 0. K must be positive. Okay, we spoke about that when we did exponential equations. Okay? That means to say, therefore, k is equal to 2. Not plus minus 2. It's only going to be 2. So what's my equation? Therefore, y is equal to a, which is negative 1, times 2 to the x plus 4. Or it could have been written as y is equal to negative 2 raised to the x plus 4. It's the same thing. Okay. Any confusion? Just need some practice on it, no? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first column of exercise, I think it's 8.4. Yeah. The first column of 8.4. We're going to go quickly through it because there's quite a few graphs here I want to get to solve in this period. Okay. This is exercise 8.4, number 1. What do you notice in this sum? How many unknowns are there that needs to be solved? What needs to be solved there? A. So how many unknowns are there that needs to be solved? 1. So how many points do I need? 1. Did you guys finish? Yes, okay, just give me a minute. I'm a bit slower than you guys now. Alright, so what do? You will substitute 1 and negative 2 into y equals x. Remembering, that's an x and a y. So what do we have here? Negative 2 is equal to, it's supposed to have been a to the x, isn't it? Is equal to a times 1. So a is equal to negative 2. So what's my equation? Y is equal to negative 2. You all okay with that? Any confusion? No? Here's the next one. Number 1. 1C. Okay, guys finished? Yes? So again, there's one unknown, which is the A. I'm going to substitute that point. So you can substitute negative 1 and negative 2 into y is equal to A over x. Remembering, this is an x and a 1. So what do we have? Negative 2 is equal to A over negative 1. You can cross multiply. So we have A is equal to 2. My equation is y is equal to 2 over x. So it's positive and it's lying in quadrant 1 and 3. This makes sense. Any confusion there? No? This is E of the same number 1 of exercise 4, 8.4. So the easy ones, give you 1 minute quickly. Right, E. As you can see, is one unknown. I need 1 point, which I do have. So I'll substitute 2 and 1 into y is equal to 8 times x. Remember, that's an x and a 1. So there's a y. So 1 is equal to a times 2. What's up? Divided by 2 both sides. So a is equal to so y is equal to that of x. All okay with that? Exercise 8.4 number 2. This is the first one. How many unknowns are there that needs to be solved? 1. Do I have 1 point? Okay. Okay. So we're going to substitute 1 and 0 into y is equal to negative 2x plus q. Okay, that's the x and the y here. So 0 equals negative 2 times 1 plus q. That is negative 2. Not so. Take it over becomes 2. My equation is y is equal to negative 2x plus. Okay, any confusion here? Simple, no? Yeah, everything in maths is so simple. I think I was cut off something here. What did I cut off? Nothing. Alright, how many items are there? 1. Then I need to solve the cube. Remembering y and x complement function. Do I need one? Do I have 1 point in the graph? Huh? Yes. 0 and 0. It's going through the origin. You can see it? I was checking, okay, they probably would give you this asymptote, but I overlooked that's going through 0 and 0. So solve that one quickly. Alright, so you're going to substitute 0 and 0 into y is equal to 3 to the x plus q. It's an x and a y. So 0 equals 3 to the 0 plus q. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So q is equal to negative 1. So y is equal to 3x minus 1. Does it make sense? Yes, that's a negative part of your y-axis. Okay. Okay, this is now number 3, 8.4 number 3. 2 unknowns, how many points do I need? 2. The 2 pieces of information. Right. So what is A, people? A is your gradient. Not so how do you calculate your gradient? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If this was x1, y1, this would be x2, y2. Not so? So this would simply be 0 minus 1 over 1 minus 0. Is this gradient going to be positive or negative? Negative. Y is going to be negative. So the graph is lying to the left. It's decreasing function. If you work this out, you get negative 1. Not so? So what's my equation now? Y is equal to negative x plus q. But what is q to us? This is your y-intercept. What's the coordinate of your y-intercept here? 0 and 1. So what is your q value? 1. So y is equal to negative x plus 1. Alright, you all agree with that? Or I could have started with 1. I could have said y is equal to, another way of doing it, I could have said y is equal to, since q is equal to 1, which is your y-intercept, so y is equal to ax plus 1. Then you just substitute the point you haven't used, which is 1 and 0, into y is equal to ax plus 1. So it will be 0 is equal to a times 1 plus 1. So you get 1 over 1 times a is a minus 1. Can you see that? You didn't have to work out the gradient. So y is equal to minus x plus 1. You didn't have to work out the gradient using the y is equal to the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus 1. You could have used that method as well. Okay, you guys understand? What type of graph is the next one? Exponential. Do we have our horizontal asymptote value? No. We have 2 coordinates. So where do we start? We start by substituting negative 1 and 0. Okay, so do that first. I'll give you 3 minutes on that one. Right, you guys ready? Start? Yes? Alright, so where did you start? You start with negative 1 and 0. So you will substitute negative 1 and 0 into y equals a times 2 to the x plus q. Okay? Remembering this is an x and a 1. So 0 equals a times 2 to the negative 1. Plus q. Not so? So a to the negative 1 is 1 over 2. Not so? Plus q is equal to 0. Since it's 2 unknowns, I'm going to take that over. So q is equal to negative half a. Are you all okay with that? And that's equation 1. You see there's two unknowns, so it's going to go into simultaneous equation. You see that? This is equation 1. So what do I do now? Now we substitute 1 and 6 into, since we haven't got the value of A or Q here, it goes back into the original equation, which is y equals A times 2 to the x plus Q. Okay, this is x and a y here. So we have 6 is equal to A times 2 to the 1 plus Q. 2 times A is 2A plus Q is equal to 6, and this is equation 2. Okay, so what do I do now? Now we're going to substitute equation 1 into equation 2. So whenever we see a Q, we replace it with negative half A. We do the substitution and then solve for A. Okay, so what do we have? 6 is equal to 2A plus minus half A. What's that? So this should be 2A to 2A plus half A is what, plus negative half A is going to give you 3 over 2A is equal to 6. How do I get A on its own? Divide by 3 over 2 both sides. Give you 12 over 3, which is 4. Is that correct? 12 over 3, yeah. 12 over 3 is 4. So what's my, did I answer the question? No. We only got A so far. So what must we still calculate? A Q value. And what is Q? Q is also equal to negative half A. So I'm going to substitute A, which is 4, into equation 1. I could have gone with equation 2, but then I must still manipulate. Maybe with the subject of the form. So Q is simply equal to minus half times 4, which is negative 2. So my equation, it wasn't asked, but I'm going to answer it. So y is equal to A, what's the standard form? Y is equal to A times 2 to the x plus q. So y is equal to A, which is 4, times 2 to the x plus q, which is negative 2. That's your equation. Okay, I can simplify that. Just remember, I can't multiply that out like it. Why? Because that variable is column. So this can be written as y is equal to 2 squared times 2 to the x minus 2. But you see the base are the same. We multiply, so we add the powers. So it's x plus 2 minus 2. This is exactly the same as that. Okay. So now this the transformation question gets filled in here. Okay. Next question, we are told to determine the equation of the graphs and determine, each one is of the form y is equal to 8x plus q. What type of graph is the y is equal to 8x plus q? Say, straight line graph. Y is equal to 8 squared plus q is which graph? The square, the quadratic is the parabola. Y is equal to a over x plus, y is equal to a over x plus q. Which type of graph is this? Hyperbola. Y is equal to a times k to the x plus q. What type of graph is this? Exponential function. Okay? So if we're looking at A, the first one, what type of graph is this? What type of graph is this, people? Exponential. Yes. So what's the form given there? Y is equal to a times k to the x plus q. So I want you to work with that one. Y is equal to, So at this point, what do we know already? The value of q. Not so. And what's the value of q? What does q tell us about this graph? Not your y-intercept, people. What type of graph is this? Exponential graph. What does the q tell you about the exponential graph? The constant tell you about the exponential graph? What? It's positive. Yeah, the k must be positive. That's talking about the q. What does the q tell us about this graph? Your asymptote, yes. And what's the equation of this asymptote here? Y is equal to? 0, yes. So your q value we know, your q value is 0. So that's the first thing we can write down. So my equation now reads y is equal to a times k to the x. I have two unknowns, which is a and k. Do I have 2 points? Yes. Where do I start? 0 and 1, yes. You want to see. So do that quickly. Okay, so we'll start by substituting 0 and 1 into y equals a times k to the x. Remembering this is the x and the 1. So 1 is equal to a times k to the 0. A to the power 0 is 1. So 1 times a is equal to 1. So what's my equation now? Y is equal to 1 times k to the. So what do I do now? We'll substitute 2 and 9 into y is equal to k to the x. Okay? So this is x and a 1. So 9 is equal to k squared. Now what? Square root. Why did you square root? What must I not forget? Plus minus. But here we said k must be greater than 0. K will always be positive. So therefore K is equal to, is your K. So what's my equation? Y is equal to 3 to the x. Okay? Any confusion here? No? We did that one, this one we just did. Here's the next one. C. Okay, we don't have much time left, so I'll do the last two with you. Just let me know if you don't understand. If I can't squeeze the third one in, okay. So that's the one, not so? So what type of graph is this? Exponential. So what is the form of the exponential? The formula for the exponential graph? Y is equal to k times, and y is equal to a times k to the x plus q. The q is what? Horizontal asymptote. What's your q value here? 1. So q is equal to 1. My equation is y is equal to a times k to the x plus 1. So what do I do now? Substitute 0 into y is equal to a k to the x plus 1. Okay? Remembering this is an x and a y. So 2 is equal to a k to the 0 plus 1. Anything to the power 0 is 1. So a is equal to 2 minus 1 is, which is 1. So you got a, you got q. So your equation now reads y is equal to 1 kx plus 1. So what do we do now? Substitute negative 1 and 4 into y is equal to k to x plus 1. That's the x and a. So you got 4 is equal to k to the negative 1 plus 1. Okay? The k to the negative 1 is 1 over k. 4 minus 1 is 2. So what do I do now is I cross multiply. Okay? Or I can take a reciprocal on either side. Whereas if I tumble here, there's one fraction on either side of equal sign, I can flip the fractions around. So that would be k over 1, which is k, and 3 over 1 becomes a third. So therefore y is equal to k, which is a third, raised to the x plus 1. The last one, you just go through it quickly. Here's the second last one. So all the sums that was not completed in this exercise in today's lesson is for homework, which is basically the second part. Okay. People, the form of this equation is y is equal to a over x plus q. This is your horizontal asymptote, not so? What's the value of your horizontal asymptote here? Y is equal to 4. So q is equal to 4. So your equation now reads y is equal to a over x plus 4. So you're going to substitute the point that's lying on this graph. Negative 2 and 0 into y is equal to a over x plus 4. Remembering that's an x and a y. So we have 0 is equal to a over negative 2 plus 4. They get over the equal sign. So a over 2 is equal to 4. Which is actually 4 over 1. Cross multiply. 1 times a is a. 2 times 4 is 8. There's your 8. Your q. So therefore y is equal to a, which is 8 over x plus. Okay. Please don't forget to do the homework. Enjoy the rest of your day in morning class.